Tonight, hundreds of migrants crossing daily on the Rio Grande. Officials say it's perhaps an indicator of what's to come ahead of the end of Title 42.
The renewed crisis at the border with Mexico as pandemic-era rules cracking down on migration are set to end in less than 2 weeks. Cities ranging from New York to Chicago to Brownsville, Texas, all saying they're already overwhelmed.
Now, as we approach May 11th, the end of pandemic era measure Title 42 looms large over the southern border. Now, this measure allowed for the quick expulsion of all illegal immigrants and was a strong deterrent under the previous administration, with almost 90% of all illegal crossing immigrants expelled. Now, however, the current administration, though, they've expelled only 35%. And as we've witnessed firsthand, trouble is already on the way. Now, as this deadline approaches, the future of the southern border remains uncertain. The implications of the end of Title 42 could be profound.
Today, though, you could easily call it an invasion. Hands down. We're being overwhelmed and overrun all along every county along the river is suffering tremendously from the impact of the immigrations that are the legal gimme-ups at the river or the illegals that continue to move forward through the country, be it foot or vehicle or however being smuggled. The drugs and stuff, all of that's escalated to numbers that we've never seen before. I've never seen it like this. Like I say, I lived here 30 years.
May 11th, it's a day of consequence around here for everyone that we've talked about, the National Guard, the Border Patrol, even members of your own department, because that's when Title 42 will come to an end. How are you preparing for that? Are you worried about what's to come?
I'm concerned, worried, no, but concerned, yes. Because I think we're going to see an increase, but we're just going to have to take it as it comes. I know that Border Patrol and ICE have already started to empty out facilities because they're predicting a huge influx in people. So we just have to take it as it comes, day by day, minute by minute.
And in terms of empty out facilities, what do you mean by that?
Those that they're holding currently for either deportation or asylum seekers, they're going to have to make bed space to handle this new wave that's coming in.
And where do they empty out those people?
To the street.
At some point, it very much seems inevitable that we're going to have to defend ourselves at home, and if and when that situation ever does come up, what next? Here's another hole right here. See, I don't know if you can tell, you can kind of see the shape of it. There's another hole right here. I mean, you can literally just go down every couple hundred yards down this fence for the entire exterior of the property. There's holes cut in it like that.
You really want to experience the border, come here on May 11th and 12th.
Oh, what's happening out there?
Title 42. The Title 42.
The flux.
Wow.
It'll change? You think it'll change?
Border Patrol has been cross-designated, from U.S. Customs to taking contraband from DEA to interdict drugs, aside from immigration law enforcement. And one of the authorities they received was from the Centers of Disease Control, Title 42, to remove people from the country during the pandemic. And so that is fixing to go away May 11th. And what people are bracing for is a huge sudden influx of people coming in.
When you say you're preparing, what does that look like? What does preparation for this look like?
They build like a bigger and better, like we call it like rooms,
intake facilities. So we can
intake facilities. They're in our station, so we can in-house more people than what we used to. So
not repel, but just house and figure out how to
bring them in and pretty much
process them
and try to get them.
So your hands are pretty much tied in terms of deterring migrants. You guys are just on welcome mode, essentially.
Would the border wall being completed actually do anything? Because I'm hearing that the shipping containers aren't a big deterrent. Would the wall actually stop migrants from coming over and the U.S. law enforcement from seeing a lower number?
No, in my honest opinion, the wall helps in a way that it deters the traffic in certain areas, but people are still, if they want to cross this border, they're going to make it in. Where the wall acts as a deterrent is once they hit that wall, once they come across and they find that wall, then they look for a crossing way where the wall ends or where the wall stops, and that's where they funnel in through.
You can bottleneck them.
Yes, exactly. It becomes funnel points, choke points, bottleneck points, if you want to refer to it that way, and that's what assists law enforcement. That's what assists the Border Patrol. Is in that way the wall does, but the wall does not stop them from coming. It doesn't. Neither does the razor wire. Neither does the shipping containers. There's not enough manpower on the border to physically secure this border.
So what I'm hearing is this is a policy issue.
Yes, I'm not a politician, but I see it every day. Yes, it is. There's not enough manpower to police this border. There's never been enough manpower to police this border. The only thing that has kept this border in check in the past was the threat of prosecution, which was people coming across and being apprehended by the Border Patrol and then being set up for either removal or deportation.
How many people are held here?
I want to say over 1,000, maybe about 1,500 to 2,000 people. It's right there.
And this is where they're waiting to be processed.
Yes.
And I guess either granted access to the United States or sent back to Mexico.
Yes.
And you expect the majority of them will be granted access to the United States?
More than likely, yeah. Especially if Title 42 goes away, because they're using Title 42 as best as they can. If you could see that shipping container right there, that's where they keep the deceased. That one right there next to the building. That's a refrigerated container. This is the entrance to the facility. It's right there. You'll be able to see it. That's the tent city. It's pretty big.
So you'll get, the media narrative talking points, but underneath it, we have become so efficient at what I call, the most massive human smuggling operation in American history. And I worked anti-smuggling operations, so the elements that I see at place here, certainly it's a vast smuggling operation. And if there's any one thing that we should not be efficient at, is smuggling.
The fight to close our southern border is going to take every American, and you can contribute to this cause by completing our survey today at PragerU.com. By doing so, you have an opportunity to make your voice heard and support us in our efforts to end the ongoing humanitarian crisis and protect the lives of Americans.